What's up, guys? This is my second place regional deck profile. The regional was about a week and a half ago, so the profile is a little late. I do apologize. But outside of that, I went 6-1 playing Dracotail. My matchups were pretty consistently all mirror matches. There was 2 K9 VS players, and then the rest was a Dracotail. But other than that, let's get into the deck profile. So pretty standard on the names: 3/5 mana, 3 Lucius, double Pan, double Urgula, Frixel, Lulu. I chose to run the 2-2 just because it felt better in my testing. I kept bricking on the 3 Urgulas, and the thought behind this was I would rather see these 2 with like a Lucius or these 2 with a Lulu instead of double Urgula and Lulu. And then pretty standard, 4 spells, 3 traps. I'm not going to get too in-depth about everything. The only thing I will say is that post side I did keep in Sting and Flame. Horn I would keep in depending if I really needed it against a Malice matchup or adjacent matchup. But it didn't really come up too much. Flame and Sting were MVPs all day. And then for the branded engine, pretty standard as well. 2 Albaz, 2 Cartesia, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fallen. I opted to play the Fallen over the 3rd Fallen of the White Dragon. It just came up too much where I needed this to fuse off their board as another layer of interruption. And then the Dogma Dragon was just very good at recycling my own fusions that I'd already gone through. And then also being able to make Mirror Jade as another layer of interruption also just felt really nice. And then I opted for the 1 Ecclesia just because, again, in my testing I was bricking on more than one, and I just didn't want that to come up. And then pretty standard for the spells, 2 Branded Fusion, 2 Fallen. I feel like this is pretty standard now. Not much to say about it. For my non-engine, also pretty standard: 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 2 Droll, 3 Droplet. I will say Ash was a great going first card all day. Ashing the Fuas just feels nice every single time, being able to make your full board. Even though the half board is good, just the full board always just feels a little nicer. And then I chose Droll over Nib in the main just because I expected to see a lot of K9 VS, and also Droll just hits a little more things in the meta right now, like Radiant Typhoon and Sky Striker. But other than that, that's the main deck. Clean 40, nothing to say about it. For the extra, I'll start off with by saying I didn't make this a single time in testing or during the regional, and I should have played Rinbrum over the SP. I don't know why I didn't. Luckily, it never came up. I had Ecclesia Synchro, Chaos Star Source, Criterion, Dragon that Devours the Dogma, Mirror Jade, Abelonatus, and Titaniclad. Titaniclad was great at breaking boards, being able to send Pan, and then popping one, and then also getting your Dracotail engine always felt nice. Abelonatus was great. I actually cleared more Caesars than I did mirror match boards with Abelonatus today. I could never get the Secretarion to stick today. It would always get dropleted or fall on the Virtuous or vice versa. Dogma actually came up quite a bit against Vanquish Soul, making this a 35 body after they've already gone through the Werewolf. And the case for K9 is great because then they can't buff their monsters. And then for the rest of the fusions, Rebellion, Albion, Sanctifier. Nothing to say about these 3. They're all pretty standard. I didn't play the second Albion. I probably should have just slotted that in over the SP. And then Lubellion always is great, being able to send a Lulu to negate a card. These two are great because you can send Frixel. And then for the Dracotail fusions, I decided to play 4, 1 Shadowless, 1 Gulamel, 2 Arthalion. Nothing crazy about this. I know some people are opting to not play Shadowless and just play another Fallen fusion. I chose to play Shadowless just to be able to put my spells back, put my traps back. I actually put more spells back today than I did my fusions. Shadowless is just a great card. Nothing really crazy to say about it. And then for the side deck, I played 1 Judgment, 2 Dragon's Mind. I don't really have much to say about these. I would see them in testing, and they were always great in testing. Didn't see them during the regional run, and that's okay. I think if I had it, I would have just won even more than I was already winning. So I'm not too worried that I didn't see this. If anything, I would want to try maybe a Branded Retribution. That one's a little more searchable. 3 Lightning Storm for the hard-going second cards. This came up against a Vanquishal player. He ended up setting 3 cards game 2, and I hit his field spell into 3 cards, and all I had to do was Ash the Holisu. 2 Bestials, 2 Bell, 2 Nib. I feel like these two aren't too crazy, and neither are the Bestials really. Pretty self-explanatory. Being able to search Fall into the White Dragon was great. And then Druid Swarm clearing bodies and damage step is always nice. Then the last card, 3 Perulia. Again, I expect to see a lot of Yummy, mainly, and that's why I have this in. But it worked out anyways, because I ended up seeing 2 Vanquishal matchups. I saw it against one of them, and it wasn't a turn skip. They gave me about 2 draws and then passed, but the 2 draws helped me win the game very much. And that's the profile. My loss was to the mirror match. I misplayed game 3. I greeted a normal summon Lucaeus line when I should have just normal summoned Fallen and Albaz and fused off his board. But other from that, the regional run was pretty nice. Didn't misplay except that one time, and I ended up losing the game. But you live and learn. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.